and thank you for watching this Play Pause It video. We're going to be going over our creative writing targeted reteach over the 303 quiz. As always, this session will be recorded for learning purposes. Learning purposes include a lesson review for students who are absent, students who want to review for a test, and it will be distributed for learning purposes. And our theme, AZVA High School, this is my time 100%. Together we will find a way. Excellence is not an act, but a habit. This is my time to work hard, to learn, to achieve, to grow, to prepare, and to have joy in my accomplishments. This is AZV8 in pursuit of excellence, and my time is now. And our 7 mindsets for the week: make a difference, receive gracefully, live to give. And our objective for today: together we will go over the most missed questions on the 303 quiz. By answering questions and participating, you will gain bonus points back to your grade. So just like all Play Pause It videos, as we go through the PowerPoint slide, you will have questions that pop up. So please make sure you do answer them. And just like all of our reteaches, we are only going over the most missed questions that the class missed as a whole. So some of these you may have gotten correct and some of these you may not have. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first question is going to have to deal with The Red Wheelbarrow by William Carlos Williams, which is a very short poem. But we're going to go ahead and look at the irony that is in this poem. And we'll talk about irony in just a moment as well. The Red Wheelbarrow by William Carlos Williams. So much depends upon a red wheelbarrow glazed with rainwater beside the white chickens. Question number 1. Which statement about irony in Williams' poem The Red Wheelbarrow is true? The correct answer is C. There is no apparent irony in the poem. So this one was kind of like a trick question, and we're going to look at the different types of irony that are out there in poetry. So what is irony? Irony is a figure of speech in which words are used in such a way that their intended meaning is different from the actual meaning of the words. So there are 3 different types of irony that we see: verbal, situational, and dramatic. And verbal is what you're going to see most of the time because that's like sarcasm, when you're sarcastic about something. For an example, if you respond to a foolish idea by saying, "Wow, that's a great idea," that is verbal irony. Situational irony is when you are in a situation that is ironic. For example, if someone is laughing at someone else's misfortune and then all of a sudden it happens to them. Dramatic irony is more for the reader. So the characters in the story are unaware of something, but the reader knows something's going to happen. That's called dramatic irony. So some examples: the audience sees a monster in the haunted house as Scooby and the gang search for him outside. That is dramatic irony because the audience knows that something is going to happen where the characters do not. You laugh at a person who slips on a banana peel and then you slip too. This would be an example of dramatic irony because you are making fun of the same situation you found yourself in. And a character stepping out into a hurricane and saying, "What nice weather we're having," is an example of verbal irony, again using that sarcasm. So the next couple of techniques we're going to look at in poetry is symbolism and allegory. And symbolism and allegory are very similar. The main difference is that allegories are usually either people or events that represent something bigger, where symbols are non-human items representing something bigger. So a teddy bear equals childhood. That's not an alive object. So that would be symbolism. Or an allegory, when you see things like the sheriff and robbers, kind of equal that good guy or bad guy. That is an allegory because it is a living thing. Same thing when you think of like a tornado devastating a town. That could be devastation as an allegory because that's an event that has happened. So question number 2, what is a benefit of using allegories in poetry writing? And the correct answer is C. Readers connect because of the shared experiences. So with allegories, it's pretty easy to see what they represent. With symbols, sometimes you can have a couple more ideas than just one solid. For example, a rose may mean beauty to some people, and to some people it may mean love. Where allegories, it's pretty clear what they mean. So by using everyone's shared experiences, it's easier to recognize those allegories. So now we're going to read another poem, this one by Billy Collins, called The Death of an Allegory. So we just talked about what an allegory was. Now Billy Collins is writing about allegories as if they were real people themselves. The next two questions are based on this poem, so make sure you do follow along. I am wondering what became of all those tall abstractions that used to pose, robed and statuesque, in paintings and paraded about on the pages of the Renaissance, displaying their capital letters like license plates. Truth cantering on a powerful horse, chastity eyes downcast, fluttering with veils. Each one was marble come to life, a thought in a coat. Courtesy bowing with one hand always extended. Villainy sharpening an instrument behind a wall. Reason with her crown, and constancy alert behind a helm. They are all retired now, consigned for Florida for tropes. Justice is there, standing by an open refrigerator. Valor lies in bed listening to the rain. Even death has nothing to do but mend his cloak and hood. And all the props are looking away in a warehouse. Hourglass globes, blindfolds, and shackles. Even if you called them back, there are no place left for them to go, no garden of mirth or bower of bliss. The valley of forgiveness is lined with condominiums, and chainsaws are howling in the forest of despair. Here on the table near the window is a vase of peonies, and next to it are black binoculars and a money clip. Exactly the kind of thing we now prefer. Objects that sit quietly on a line in lower case. Themselves and nothing more, a wheelbarrow, an empty mailbox, a razor blade resting in a glass ashtray. As for the others, the great ideas on horseback, and the long-haired virtues in embroidered gowns. It looks as though they have traveled down the road you see on the final page of storybooks, the one that winds up a green hillside and disappears into an unseen valley where everyone must be fast asleep. Question number 3. What does the poet say in Billy Collins' Death of Allegory? And the correct answer is B. Objects in poetry are now just objects rather than allegorical symbols. And our last question, what happens to the allegorical characters at the end of Billy Collins' Death of Allegory? And the correct answer is A. They disappeared into an unseen valley and are sleeping. So 3 and 4, you really do need to look back at the poems to kind of find those answers. And remember, when you are completing your quizzes, it is going to ask you to reference back to some poetry. It's okay to open up a tab and look at those poems so you can kind of pull out what they're asking you. So please make sure you do that. All right, so what is next? Unit 2 does locked this Sunday, so no Unit 2 work is available anymore. The Unit 3 project is due on Wednesday. Make sure you complete that. We did have an enrichment on it last week and are going to have one tomorrow, March 10th. Make sure you've completed discussions and quizzes and come to class. We have a lot of fun and go through a lot of things. I'm also going to be gone this coming Wednesday, March 11th through spring break. So if you have any questions, please reach out to me before then. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day.